Hey Mom, this is Meredith. How are you? Welcome to Manicures or Moneycures. This is going to be an awesome program, and you're going to be so glad that you went through the steps to do this. I actually did these steps myself, and they work really, really well when you put them to work for you. But before you get started on the program, I want to tell you a little bit about me and about the organization so you can have an idea of why I think it's even okay for me to tell you how to do these things. I am a single mother, and I was with my ex from 1998 until 2008. That's when I found myself suddenly single, and it was a really scary and really heartbreaking time of my life. I was recently relocated from St. Louis to Florida. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, and we had moved down to Florida, and not too long after I was single. So I had to make some really difficult decisions on my career choices and all that to be there for my son. I didn't have any family close by. I only had acquaintances, and I kind of felt like I was outwearing my welcome to my neighbors by asking favors of who could help keep my son, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure that you may have been there before too. You can only ask so many times for help before you start feeling bad. So I went through probably about 3.5 years of the scariest times of my life financially, and just really feeling alone. It was just me and my son, and I had nobody to lean on. I literally felt like I was alone in this big, vast South Florida world, and I got a real big glimpse of business in South Florida, which was really kind of ruthless, and especially being a mother trying to start over and really trying to make the best decisions for your income, for your household, when you're the only one that there is. So fast forward a little while, I was really petrified. I was tired of living life the way that I was. Thankfully, I had wits about me that I knew how to research online. I knew how to look for resources. I was never really eligible for too many things. Yes, I got on food stamps. Was I proud about it? No, but I needed them. And I had to go down to the office at that time. I stood in line, and I had people staring at me like, what are you doing in this line? And I smiled back, and I was thinking to myself, I'm standing here because I really need this. I don't want to be standing here, but I am standing here, and I have to have this. There'd be days that I would crack my door open ahead of my son to see if my ceiling fan was on in my living room. That way I knew that our power was still on. And I said, thank you, God, we have another day of lights. So it was really, it was a scary position, and I prayed nightly in my pillow out loud through gut-wrenching tears, saying, God, I am so terrified. If you can please help me out of this situation, I promise that I will do anything in my power to make sure that there's not another woman that feels this afraid and this alone ever in their life. Please help me, and I will help somebody else. Well, I can tell you, God heard me. He didn't answer me right away. It was probably about another year of hard knocks and growing in myself and strengthening, but I was at my worst emotionally, financially, mentally, physically. I was just beaten down, and I was so ready to give in. And then life just started to change. It started to get better. I started to get stronger. I started to smile. Finances were coming in place, and as life got better, I remembered my promise, and I had a stir in me that I should be doing more. I was doing real estate at that time, and I was working for a company that I wasn't very happy working with. I felt like it was very soul suffocating, that I just knew that there was more out there for me. So I had one bad decision after another of employment. I went through 9 jobs in 3 years, and it was horrific. And my last company that I was with, it was another real estate company. They did some pretty undermining things. I was doing recruiting, and I had recruited an agent that was coming over, and that agent was in the process of coming over, and between the broker and himself, they did some shady business that involved my real estate license, and I was advised that I should leave that company. So I did, and that was job number 9. So I went to church. I had just started going back to church because I knew when life started getting better, I needed to be doing more to show I was thankful instead of just saying thank you. So I just started going back to church. So that day that I had left my 9th job, I went on my church grounds, and I was mad, and I was going to have a talk with God. And I was stomping like a little 15-year-old girl. And I went back we sat on 23 acres. It was Community of Hope in Loxahatchee Groves, Florida. And it was the most life-changing experience of my life walking through the doors of that church. But I went and I had a conversation with God, and I told him, listen, whatever it is that I'm doing, it's not working. So I quit. I give this to you. I give this to you, and it is up to you. Wherever you're going to lead me, I'm going to follow you, because clearly whatever I'm doing, it's not working. So I give this to you. And I was bawling my eyes out, and in the wrap of me crying, it was almost like I felt him tap me on my back, and I looked up and to the top of the tree, and I promise on every ounce of me, I saw his face looking down on me, smiling, this little like caring smile of, oh, you silly girl, I've got you. Get up and go do what I've got for you. So I got up, and within 48 hours, I felt like I had fire coming out of my fingertips, but Tiger Lily Resources was born. I had the entire platform of resources that I was going to offer. I was connecting with people that I should have never been able to connect with, walking into offices. I walked into the vice president's office of the homeowners division of Chase Bank. I just walked in there and sat down, and we had a conversation for about an hour and a half. We're still really good friends to this day, and we're still business partners with the organization. So, I mean, it's just amazing. And this program, I will absolutely use it as a platform to be the storyteller. I don't know where you're at in your life, in your faith, in your walk. If you know God, if you don't know God, if you are a believer, if you're not, I don't know. But it's my job as a believer. I was saved not that long ago. I just got baptized last April, and it was the most amazing, life-changing day of my life. It was better than the day I got married. It was better than the day my son was born, and that was the most amazing day of my life. But the day that I gave myself completely to Jesus was the most breathtaking day of my life. And so now it is my duty and my privilege to share my faith with you through these tools that I'm going to give you, because all of these tools were given to me by him. So if they can work with me and strengthen me, then it's my job to share them with you. So sisters, please walk with me on this journey. It's going to be amazing. And if I can share just a little bit of his love and light to you, then I've done my job. And I'm so excited to get started on this. Let's go, girls.